Last updated 1459, October 30, 2017. The Employment Relations Film Production Work Amendment Act 2010 is known as the Hobbit Law, as it helped ensure Peter Jackson's trilogy of movies would be filmed in New Zealand. Equity New Zealand has welcomed the potential repeal of what they describe as deeply unfair legislation. The union, which represents those who work in the country's entertainment industries, said the Employment Relations Film Production Work Amendment Act 2010, known more informally as the Hobbit Law, due to it being created to help ensure Peter Jackson's production remained on our shores, was rushed through Parliament. It classified all film workers as independent contractors, meaning they were unable to bargain collectively or receive other benefits associated with being an employee. It was seen by some as a direct response to a 2005 Supreme Court decision where model maker James Bryson was allowed to pursue a claim against Weta Workshop that he was unjustifiably dismissed because the court believed he was working under employee-like conditions, rather than those one would associate with an independent contractor. New Zealand actors are welcoming plans to scrap the so-called Hobbit Law that prevents film workers from collective bargaining. The new Labour government has announced they intend to change the law, which they voted against in 2010, accusing the then national government of relenting to a foreign company, Hobbit backers Warner Brothers, and abusing parliamentary process. Read more. Labour proposes to get the ball rolling to repeal the Hobbit Law. Kiwi actor suffer after Hobbit dispute. Union Hobbit deal laid bare in emails. NZ should not prostitute itself for Hobbit movies. Nats criticise Labour's Hobbit Law stance. Controversial Hobbit Law passes. Squatty. New Zealand President Jennifer Ward-Leland said what they want is not necessarily a change all film and television workers' status to employees, but rather get back the fundamental right for them to collectively bargain. Equity New Zealand President Jennifer Ward-Leland describes the government's latest move to repeal the Employment Relations Film Production Work Amendment Act 2010 as a clear vote of confidence on New Zealand's world-class screen industry. We all know why anti-competitive laws were set up, to prevent big business price fixing, but that has become, over the years, a big stick for people to wield against people who are in very unfair situations. It is right and proper that this be repealed. It was somewhat of a shock to us at the time that law was suddenly changed. She described the government's latest move as a clear vote of confidence on New Zealand's world-class screen industry. However, she warned it was just the start of much-needed reforms. The repeal of this law is a step in the right direction, but much more needs to be done to enable collective bargaining in our industry, as is the case in every other major film industry in the Western world. She cited the example of Ireland, where shows like Game of Thrones are shot, who just passed a competition amendment law in June, which, while still classifying performers as freelancers, was a significant breakthrough for performer unions, because it returned collective bargaining rights to them. And in Australia, all actors have employee status, so they get holiday pay, sick leave and bereavement leave. But we also know that a lot of actors and film workers are happy being independent contractors. We just believe they should have the right to challenge their employment status in certain situations. Ward-Leland added that the alleged purpose of the Hobbit Law was to create certainty, but it did just the opposite. One of the best ways to create certainty around employment conditions, for both employees and employers, is to have collective agreements that very clearly outline wages and conditions, said Ward-Leland. We look forward to working with Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and her team to create a thriving arts and entertainment industry that still manages to treat its workers with dignity and respect. Stuff.